Hey guys, greetings and salutations. This is James here at Unique Perspectives. I thought I would introduce my mother in another video. Say hello, mother, whenever you're ready.
Hello, everybody.
So we are actually going to discuss the concept of just caring for elderly people. This is an ongoing conversation my mother and I always have about family members, taking care of elderly. There are times when my mother and I were talking about this topic, and she knows elderly people, other friends of hers that, maybe their families are neglecting them, or maybe the families are actually caring for them very well. So I just wanted to ask her 3 or 4 questions about this concept, about just families taking care of the elderly. This is a important topic to me. I think not only in the Black community, but just overall in the West. I think sometimes there are some families that have a better understanding of how to care for their elderly, and other people that really don't know how to go about it. So my mother here, she has plenty of experience in different situations throughout her life, amazing life that she has lived. And yeah, she's taught me a lot. So I just want to ask my mother 3 or 4 questions about this concept, and let's see what she comes up with. All right, let's get started. You ready, Mom?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. So the first question, so I guess we'll start off with just asking this. Do you believe family members are responsible for their elderly? Do you believe that they are responsible for caring for their elderly family members?
Okay, James, you've realized this is my thoughts.
Okay.
I believe that a family member can be responsible for their elder family members. That's if they want to be.
Okay, so you don't necessarily believe that they're obligated, that they have to do it?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I will say, and this is my opinion because, in our family, my mother has always taught us to have our own opinions, our own thoughts. I do believe that a family member, they have the responsibility to care for their elderly. But I do like the idea that my mother is saying they're not obligated. I guess in a way, especially in the West, we are very independent mind. The idea is to break away from your family. And, there's another point I want to bring up later about this. But, okay, so I want to get a little bit deeper now. Let me ask you this. Do you believe that a family is responsible for caring for an elderly family member when that elderly person sacrificed for them to be where they are, even if they have the basics? Do you believe that that elderly person cleaned that person, gave them money, brought them to jobs, raised them? Do you believe that that elderly family member should be cared for by those people that they sacrificed for at one time?
You know what, James? That sounds like some of the things that I've done in my life.
Mm-hmm. You definitely have.
But I don't feel like they have to do this unless they want to.
Interesting. Okay. That's a very interesting perspective. Okay. So you don't believe that people are obligated, that they absolutely have to do these things, even if they're a family and connected, and the elderly person took care of them?
No. I believe if they want to do it, they should do it. But if they don't want to, then they shouldn't do it, and they shouldn't even worry about it.
Okay, wow. It's very interesting. I don't think I expected that response from my mother. Wow.
Well,
Okay. All right, that's interesting. All right, so I do have 2 more questions for you, Mom, regarding this topic of caring for the elderly. You and I have discussed many times. We observe sometimes, in some cases, some of our family members or even other people in our neighborhoods or other families, there are some people that seem to have a difficult time wanting to care for the elderly people that cared for them. Somebody that sacrificed for them, brought them to school for years, somebody that gave them money and sacrificed for all these things on their behalf. Now, obviously, not every young person is thinking negatively about elderly people, but some do. And so I guess, what is your theory or what is your opinion? Why are there young people that they don't want to care for their own elderly family members, the same people that took care of them? What is your opinion about that?
well, I believe if you do a great job taking care of them, really good and loving and kind, they'll do the same for you. But if you are not nice to them, then don't expect them to be nice to you.
Okay.
Hey, that's the way it is.
Okay. So you're saying that most likely if a young person doesn't want to care for that elderly person, whether it's an uncle, an aunt, a mother, a father, a grandparent, that the way that they behave towards that elderly person is based on how that elderly person treated them.
How they was treated.
Okay. That's something very interesting. Now, okay, let me just ask, do you think there are some cases when a person was treated very well by that elderly person and they still decide to disregard them? Do you think, or do you, like, I don't know if you understand what I mean.
I understand what you mean, but it depends on the person's state of mind.
Okay, I agree.
You understand?
Okay.
And if they got God in their life.
Absolutely. That is one of the most important things I think, it's very important to bring up. In fact, I had 2 or 3 verses I wanted to share regarding elderly people that the Bible shares about just the position of an elderly person and how we should view the elderly, because I think there is a disregard for a lot of elderly people.
It is.
Especially in our Western world. So in Leviticus chapter 19, verse 32, the Bible says, "You shall stand up before the gray head and honor the face of an old man, and you shall fear your God. I am the Lord." And so it's interesting to see how God is not only reminding, the Israelites to honor him, but he's acknowledging the men, and I would think women as well, who are older, who have gray hair, people who are more experienced. And I think that's something that a lot of people fail to do in our world today, is they forget that, hey, this person is older, they're more experienced. And, to be honest, there are a lot of things you have helped me with, because you experience things that a lot of my friends
Absolutely.
my friends and their peers, they had a younger mother that didn't experience certain things, so they didn't know how to guide them, but you were able to guide me. And so that's one of the things I've seen as an advantage, is, I don't know if you ever noticed that or you ever knew that, but I was actually aware of how to deal with certain things growing up because you already experienced it, so you were able to teach me and my friends. They didn't know how to handle stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, wow. Let's see, another verse here we have is 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 1 and 2. It says, "Do not rebuke an older man, but encourage him as you would a father. Younger men as brothers, older women as mothers, younger women as sisters in all purity." And so this is written by the Apostle Paul in the New Testament, one of his many letters, 13 letters he wrote to the early church. But again, we see him explaining to the church to treat older women and older men as like father figures, and of course we know that we live in a sinful world where some elderly people are very wicked. There are some that are wicked, and so we have to be careful of that, obviously. But
Yeah.
Did you want to say something about that?
I want to say, I remember when I was pregnant for you, I was laughed at because I was older having a baby.
See, now, my mother never told me that. I never knew that. I knew about some other stuff, but I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because you were actually in your early 40s, right, when you had me.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's...
And there was, I went through the...
Yeah, even today, a lot of people look down at that,
And do you realize I even was hit by a car when I was pregnant with you?
Yeah. I think I've shared that on my YouTube channel, but I don't think a lot of people know that. My mother was unaware that she was even pregnant.
Hey.
She was hit by a car. She went to the hospital. Doctor was checking her and said, "Oh, by the way, you've been pregnant." Yeah, and it's like, whoa, And that's an entirely different story. Maybe we'll address that in another video. But I guess my last question to you regarding the elderly is, in a lot of countries that don't have health care or they don't have an established government that takes care of elderly people, a lot of families in very poor, what we would call third world countries, they do a very good job at taking care of the elderly. There's an understanding, whether it's in the Middle East, whether it's in Asian countries, a lot of African countries, there's this understanding that you take care of your elderly, that you are responsible, and they will even live with you. But here in the Western world, there's this idea that for some families, okay, that person's older now we'll let somebody else take care of them. So I guess I want to know, what is your thought on that? Do you think that third world countries, and do they have it right? Do they have a better understanding of take care of the elderly and keep that elderly person with you in your family and in your house, or do you believe that maybe the Western idea of, okay, that person's older now, let someone else take care of them and maybe we check on them or pay money? Like, what are your thoughts about that?
No. My thought is, I believe when you're older, your family should be able to take care of you.
Okay. So you do believe in that idea? Because
I think so.
okay, because I know earlier you were emphasizing, it's up to that person to.
Yeah,
okay,
but
okay.
I'm saying it's up to them if they want to do it.
Okay, but you're saying
But
the standard is they should.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I agree with that. I agree. I feel like, and this is just my opinion, but I feel that the Western world has kind of a broken understanding of how to care for the elderly, while other, what we would call third world countries, they have a better understanding of
But
care for.
you realize they have some parents put their kids out.
True. Yeah. I have. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
so you don't expect this child
That's true. That's a
when
good
they
point.
get
That's a
older
very good
come
point.
take care of you when you put them out.
That's a very good point. There's a lot of
So,
Reddit stories about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're about to close our video, Mom, but do you have any last thoughts about the topic of the elderly, or any final thoughts or advice, or before we leave and close the video?
No, just take care of the older people because they take care of you.
There you go. Remember that, okay? Honor your mother and father, okay? And your days will be
And
longer.
that's right.
That's the only commandment with a promise. All right. Well, God bless you guys. Hope this was helpful. I'm going to try to implement my mother in more future videos. I feel like she has great perspectives. Yeah. You want to say
Thank
anything,
you,
Mom?
James.
All right. Let me give my mother a kiss.
Have a blessed day,
All right.
everybody.
God bless you guys, and thank you very much. Peace.